We'll say this plainly. The great religious canons did not become contradictory by accident. At maturity, they were shaped by a philosophical apparatus that installed contradictions in the center and sealed them inside with internal rules. Result: captivity. Whatever you assert from a canon, the same canon can rightly authorize its opposite. Here we name the captivity and its author. The remedy comes later. By philosophy, we don't mean love of wisdom. We mean the manager of meaning. Editors, schools, councils, dogmas, procedures. An apparatus that keeps both sides alive, calls the clash depth or mystery, and controls outcomes by switching from A to not A inside the canon. Where a message is coherent, this apparatus shrinks. Where it's reversible, it becomes indispensable. Our issue is contradiction, not mystery. Mystery means we accept a truth whose how exceeds our grasp. Contradiction commands incompatible norms on central matters while treating both as authoritative. Captivity appears when a canon holds A and not A in the core, provides an internal switch, abrogation, ranked sources, double courts, ontological mystery or casuistry, and allows opposite resolutions of the same case with canonical legitimacy. Brief snapshots show the recurrence. Bible. A clear call to responsibility sits beside devices that externalize blame or ontologize incapacity. Roles blur source-sponsibility and exemption can overturn each other, both biblical. Islam, mercy versus severity, responsibility versus predestination, abrogation and ranked sources let one pole supersede the other. Hindu scriptures, renunciation and duty are both crowned as supreme, plurality preserved, not resolved. Buddhism, arhat versus bodhisattva, with emptiness able to dissolve fixed duties. Both peaks remain ultimate. Rabbinic Judaism, firm rules inside an engine of exceptions. Reversibility becomes a skill of procedure. Patristic Christianity, the ethic of Jesus stands beside heavy metaphysics. Press one pole, the other answers with mystery. Confucianism, Daoism, canonical voices affirm opposites. Human nature good versus bad, act by non-acting. Paradox becomes toolkit or method. Who benefits? Philosophy as apparatus and the institutions that rely on it. Contradiction universalizes. One canon pleases opposing audiences, and centralizes control. Authorities decide which side wins today and can reverse tomorrow. Common objections fail. Genre richness doesn't require opposite norms in the center. Tensions for interpretation become a shield when the contradiction is never removed. If this were accidental, later custodians would prune it. Instead, it's codified, taught, rewarded. Why call it intentional? Because the will to preserve the conflict is visible. Contradictions are placed in the doctrinal core, switches are legislated, both poles are canonized, and protective rhetoric blocks moral clarification. What does captivity do to us? A coherent moral word compels choice and consequence. A reversible canon trains oscillation under cover of authority. Conscience yields to procedure, which ladder of sources, which abrogation, which sacred silence. Who are the hands? Redactors who set opposites side by side, schools that canonize both, councils that legislate switches, commentators who rename contradiction depth, magisteria that apply A today and not A tomorrow still inside the canon. Our claim does not deny beauty, piety, or insight. It locates the problem in the normative core and identifies the manager that keeps the cage locked. The verdict? Across major canons we find central contradictions, internal switches, and practical reversibility. The responsible party is philosophy as apparatus, the historical manager of meaning that creates, seals, and guards these contradictions because its authority depends on operating them. This is the closed circle of canonical paradoxes. Whatever you assert, the canon, unchanged, can overturn it from within. Here we stop. The path out belongs to the next message.